welcome back to another video, guys. So yeah, today what I'm going to be doing is just getting basically a bit of a vlog out and just showing you what I need to get done today. So I'm just trying to be a bit productive on the weekend, maybe do a bit of the work on the Clio, but today I need to just get a load of miscellaneous jobs done that I've been needed doing for a little while. So yeah, so what I've got to do is today I've got to, well, I need to basically clean the garden out of all that wood and the rubble, sort of put into a pile and wait for that a bit further down the line. You can see it just out the fence there. So you've got the old doors and all the wood there that needs to be put down the side of the shed. So we got that, and then we need to fix the central locking on Rita. So that should be an easy fix. Hopefully we've got a bit of cable. It's just splicing into two ends and basically just joining it. Basically the cable just, I think where the door's been pulling on it, the cable's just a little bit stretched every time, and it's just pulled it out from the plug, so it disconnected itself instead of actually breaking, hopefully. But we got a backup master plug that I had to wait for last week. So we got, oh no, not master plug, sorry, no, that's not it, that's the one that's no good. The other one's in my bag upstairs. So yeah, I've got that to do, and then I've got a really annoying flashing number on the dash of Rita as well. It's right in the middle of the dials, and it's for the temperature sensor gauge plug. Basically, I unplugged it from the passenger wing mirror. Just thought, nah, don't need it, just unplug it. It looked a bit ugly down that side of the on the side of the car, because you can see it was in the inside of the wing mirror cap, and they'd been taken long time ago by someone else, so you could actually see the bare cables going to it. And I thought, well, I don't need it, so I just unplug it. But doing that, it's now constantly got a flashing number of 30 just bleeping at me all the time. So yeah, I'm going to try and plug that back in again, and then we're going to put the other door card back on after we fix the other central locking motor. Also on my driveway, I've got a bit where the edge of the driveway, basically, for whatever reason, they never tarmacked it square to the end. They actually did a slight curve and cut the corner. So my front right wheel sits in that all the time, and it's been constantly every day wearing that bit down, pressing the mud down, and it's just getting boggy and dirty and full of water. And then obviously that gets on my wheel, flicks up, and then the side of my car is really dirty within minutes. So yeah, I've got a little bit left over of the concrete, so I can make some up and just fill it in a bit so it's a bit neater. So it won't be a fantastic job, because that driveway will get redone hopefully next year sometime, or this year if I've got the funds. The other one's just silly little things, stuff for the house, and then the last one is to I need to clean up the bolts basically for the white Clio. So they were a bit crusty. I actually went down to well, I won't say the name, it's a mains dealer of some sort, and basically I quoted up a load of the bolts that I needed for the Clio. I wanted to replace all the strut tower bolts, the control arms, and the pinch bolts, everything like that basically that I needed for the white Clio behind me. And I basically got a full quote, and I couldn't believe it when the guy was telling me, he was adding it all up. I just see the calculator just getting higher and higher and higher. Yeah, it ended on £102 in the end. I was like, no, I'm not spending £102 on a couple of bolts. So yeah, so that idea's out the window. We're gonna go and get some. We're gonna clean those bolts up, and then the one that I actually cut off, I'll buy that one obviously, but the rest of them I'm just gonna clean up and put back in, put some copper seals on them, put some Loctite on them. They'll be good. So yeah, we're not doing that, definitely not. Yeah, and that's about it really. My main first mission now is, though, the one that's not on that list, because I want to go to French Car Show, we've got, obviously with Rita at the minute, that front right wheel, the alloy wheel on that car, is leaking air. It's leaking about 10 psi every 10 days or so. So it's dropping quite quickly, but not quick enough to, obviously I can drive it around and I'll just have to keep on top of it, but it is getting quite annoying. So what I did is I went and bought, because I've got an air compressor, and I've got a 12 volt converter that you can plug your air compressor in, because obviously Rita doesn't have a cigarette lighter in the car to charge the compressor from, and obviously I won't be able to get it close enough to this car without having to take the wheels off. So what they've recommended is, a good friend of mine down in Halfords has recommended that I need to use some sort of bead sealer around the wheel. He's recommended that should, that can take all day. He wants it to really set before it actually is driven on, because otherwise it could obviously undo the work that he's doing. So I'm going to have to get some of those old beaters on, the old steel wheels, chuck them on the front of Rita, and then basically give him the wheel with the bead repair that he needs to do. And then the other wheel I need to do as well is the Grotti one that I picked up ages ago. That's the spare wheel that's in the back. I did started at one point about a year or two ago, started cleaning it down and cleaning up the face, because it had been sitting in someone's garden. But it was only just a spare wheel, and it was really cheap, and it come with a tyre as well. But as I've gone to pump it up, it doesn't engage with the with any compressors. So I'm guessing the actual what's it called? The actual valve for the tyre, I'm assuming, has gone on that one. So that one's gonna have a new valve. Then we're gonna get the bead sealer on the other tyre, and then we should all be good for French Car Show. There we go, guys. So yeah, got my tyre compressor, got my spare wheel that's got loads of overspray on it, so that's going to look funny on the car. But it is just temporary for today, just to get me around. I need to obviously get home to do these other jobs. So yeah, going to pump this tyre up. I've got some tyre gel in there actually, I think. Actually chuck some of that on it, might make it look a little bit prettier. Yeah, and go from there really. So I'm going to start doing this. Right, there we go, guys. So yeah, we've got the tyre just inflated, and then we've got some Autoglym vinyl and rubber care I just had laying around. So I thought I'd just spray that on the tyre just to soften it up a bit, so it's not so dry, and it just might help it out a little bit. So it might not do nothing, but the thought's there anyway. So yeah, I'm going to do that, chuck that on the car, and then drive down to where I need to go to sort these tyres out. Right, there we go, guys. So wheels all done. So we've got that one all washed and cleaned and taken off the car. And then we've just got this wheel here. So that's the replacement for today. So yeah, let's go and get the rest of this sorted out. What I might do first actually is I also need to give the car a good wash. So I might just take it to one of those generic car washes for a couple of quid, and just see how the paint fares up. So yeah, this will be interesting. Let's head to the tyre centre. Okay, guys. So yeah, that's the numbers flashing on the dash there. Down there in that corner, there's an actual broken wire. So you might not be able to see it, but yeah, it's just a little break there, and I need to fix it with about a 20 mil bit of cable. It's only the tiniest bit, if you can hear me, guys. So wheels all dropped off, and hopefully be ready for the end of the day, so I can come and collect those later on. So thank you, Ian. Right, so yeah, and now we're off to the car wash. So yeah, let's get on with it. Down into the car wash, and the guys absolutely loved it. The young lads here, so we're just giving it the best that you can give it, and it's the Pro Shield. So you get all this funny coloured shampoo, and yeah, it's worth treating out for the once. So you know, it hasn't been done since it got painted in the summer, so the car was absolutely minging. And yeah, hopefully this will you know, make it look a lot better, and hopefully not take off any big chunks of paint. back home now, so yeah, I'm going to be doing all those other jobs that I said about earlier. So the wheels dropped off, car's washed, and I'm not too happy with the wash because they didn't get the bottom ends. You know, I paid for the top end one as well. So yeah, we're going to have to work on these other bits now. So I might do the electrics next and get the door cards sorted out. So a bit of an update, guys. It's been about an hour or so, and yeah, I've plugged that sensor back in and it's just stopped flashing, but it's still at -30 for some reason, but don't know why that is. We've put the door card back on, and I've put that new central locking solenoid into the car. For whatever reason, it still hasn't fixed the issue. I have no idea now what it is, because the other two doors lock and all the wires are now joined, so I'm not too sure what it is, but it locks with a key, so it'll just have to do for now. But maybe in the future we can stick a better central locking kit and just gut the rest of it out and go from there. But what I have noticed, when I was saying about the car being washed, I noticed some stuff down on the lower sill, on the rear arch, and I thought it was dirt at first, but it's actually rust. So what I'm going to do is, I've got some colour matching paint. I'm just going to lightly sand it all back and then just give it a touch up. That was the beauty of having this paint job, basically. I know it's going to be rough around the edges and things like that, but it's not cost me a lot of money. And for times like this, when that little bit of rust comes back, we can just touch it up and it doesn't matter. So it's just one of them. So yeah, I'm going to give that a go now. I can't really film it because it is a bit awkward doing that in sort of the middle of the day with people around, and people look at you a bit weird. So I'll update you when I'm done, and I might be able to give you a cheeky shot with the camera without obviously looking like I'm mad and talking to the camera. So yeah, so I'm going to do that now, and then I'm going to crack on with the driveway afterwards and do the garden shortly after that while that's setting. So yeah, I'll get on with that now and grab some sandpaper and some paint. Tip for you guys. So yeah, like I said, I'm going to paint those lower sills on the rear quarters with some colour matching paint for the Renault. This can is really cold at the minute because it's been sitting in my garage. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to boil some hot water, stick it in a bucket and leave the can in it for about 5 minutes, just so it can have a better chance of actually spraying and not coming out all blotchy on the actual paintwork. So yeah, make sure your paint's warm or up to sort of a decent room temperature. Obviously being winter, it's going to come out a bit clogged and a bit harsh on the paint and start running quite easily. So yeah, I'm going to do that. I'll show you the before and then I'll show you the after. Right guys, so yeah, we've got all our jobs done. We've got the garden cleared of all the wood, just got a little bit there to burn, that'll go in there. We've got those down the side of the shed, concreted up the driveway, and that's looking a lot better. Just got to let that dry now. We've painted Rita, got rid of all that rust on the bottom of the seals, and it's about 2 o'clock now, so I'm just waiting to go and pick up the wheels basically for Rita. So hopefully they've fixed all that, got the beads fixed, and hopefully no more slow flat tyres. So the only thing we didn't get done today was the central lock-in, but that's a bit of a mystery, but I ain't got much more time to sort of mess about with it today. So yeah, I'm going to call it a day for there, guys. I know it wasn't great and I couldn't exactly show you a lot of it. You know what it's like trying to film stuff and you're trying to get stuff done. It's just an absolute pain in the arse basically. It takes you 3 times as long to do it, so obviously I couldn't do it. So but I've done all those jobs, and like I say, that's all it needs to be done. So yeah, if you like the video, guys, leave a like, and if you're new around here, don't forget to subscribe, and hopefully we'll get back to more car content really soon for you guys, because I know that's probably what most of you are here to see. And yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.